annoying habits. And another variation, remember that when focusing on the future, we can also use the modal could. Actually, the modal could can have three uses: to refer to the past tense, to refer to the future tense, and also what was the other one? Oh yeah, and also to denote a person's ability in doing something. All right, so just remember those tenses and these two modals, the modal could and the modal would. Yes. So, well, that was a really brief test, and I'm sorry once again for starting this session a bit late, but let's see if this works. So, please just open the, go straight to the title that says, what was it? Oh yeah, expressions to denote regret. I upload the test you did, and right after that one, you see the file that says listening activities. So I don't remember the name of the, but it says listening postgraduates 2, I guess. So just open the file, please. And
Teacher,
that's it.
disculpe, todavía no estoy presentando nada, ¿verdad?
No, 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 no. I was just actually, you know, doing this on purpose because we are going to be doing this listening activity and, like pausing the track to go back and then, uh, you know, admit your classmates in this session. So it's going to be a little bit awkward. So now I guess that everyone just joined. There are a couple of students missing, but all right. So now let's just do it. So, all right. So here it is. Can you see it? Yes? No? Yes, are you able to see it? What I'm showing you right now? No?
Yes, teacher.
Oh,
Yes,
sweet.
teacher.
Perfect. All right, excellent. Is it, are these expressions useful? Actually, yes. Well, I don't know if you guys you want to have your 10 or your beautiful 9, but it depends. It depends on the performance you have in the freaking Selly test. Okay, so this is definitely coming. Yes, so listen carefully for these expressions. Usually there, it varies, no? Maybe 2, maybe 4. Yes, it depends. So just make this count. So, okay, you see what I was saying? Hopefully your classmates just joined before starting the track. Okay, so okay, let me check the speaker. Perfect. So here we go.
Conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your book and choose the best answer. Then on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Number 1.
You'd better take the car to the garage from now on. They charged me $75 for a few minor repairs.
That's not too bad. What does the man mean?
So what does the man mean by saying that's not too bad?
B.
It wasn't too much. It wasn't that expensive. You don't have anything to complain about. So yeah.
Number 2.
The International Students Association is having a party Saturday night. Can you come or do you have to work at the hospital?
I wish I could.
What will the woman probably do?
So
C.
there you go. No? She rejected the man's invitation by using the verb wish. I wish I could. I'm quite busy. I won't go.
Number
So
3.
yeah, option C.
I think that the game starts at 8.
Good. We have just enough time to get there.
What will the speakers probably do?
So Yes, it's that one, no? Actually, they are going to be at the what seems to be a stadium or something. So yes, they need to leave immediately.
Number 4.
What did you do after you lost your passport?
I went to see the foreign student advisor, and he reported it to the passport office in Washington.
What did the man do after he lost his passport?
So, and the problem with this sort of dialogues is that getting to know the subject, no? Who is doing what? So is it the student actually going and reporting this to the passport office, or another person is going to do that? That's the thing that we just need to
I thought the student
settle down.
Must pass it on to you.
So
Number 4.
What did you do after you lost your passport?
I went to see the foreign student advisor, and he reported it to the passport office in Washington.
What did the man do after he lost his passport?
So, yeah, exactly. Option A is what the student did, and option D is what the foreign student advisor is going to do. He's going to report this to the passport office. So, yeah, excellent. Then,
Number 5.
If you don't have an account here, I can't cash your check. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
Well, thanks a lot. You're a big help.
What does the woman mean?
so
B.
yeah, exactly, no? The man was not helpful at all.
Number 6.
I'm not sure what Dr. Tyler wants us to do.
If I were you, I'd write a rough draft and ask Dr. Tyler to look at it.
What does the woman suggest the man do?
You see, suggestion. The woman used the second conditional. So, what is she suggesting? I mean, she's suggesting to write a draft and then show it to the professor, no? So it has to be what? A drafting is actually what I ask you sometimes to do. In case you have some doubts, you can send me your draft and then just some feedback to take into account before the what is that? Before the second, no, before the another test, no? So it's just that it's just showing a preliminary version to the professor, no? So it's B. So the option B is the thing, the first thing to do, and then the option A is what the professor is going to do after. So yeah, must be the option B.
Number 7.
Dr. Clark is the only one teaching statistics this term.
You mean we have to put up with her for another semester?
What does the woman mean?
Well, sort of like an idiomatic expression, put up with someone. What does put up with someone means? Anybody?
Posponer.
Well, that's put off. But the problem, well, this one it has like sort of the same sound. This one is put up with. And also listen, the woman's, the students, well, I mean, the girl's tone of, I mean, the voice it sounds like negative, no? Like, do you mean okay, let me just repeat it.
In statistics this term.
You mean we have to put up with her for another semester?
What does the woman mean?
So we can clearly come up with the idea that the girl definitely doesn't sound too excited in taking this class. So put up with someone is kind of like aguantar, soportar, um, tener que lidiar con. So basically, is the students do not like this professor, right? So it has to be the option D. And then yes, what you said is perfect. Just listen carefully with the preposition. Okay, up, off, up, off. So yeah, what you said is correct. Is actually the idea of postpone, but you can clearly see that any of the options over here, A, B, C, and D's, give us that. Posponer, cancelar, so no. All right, so it has to be the option D. Then,
Number 8.
Do you think that you can have these shirts finished by Friday morning?
I'm sorry. I couldn't possibly get them done by then. Saturday afternoon would be the earliest that you could have them.
What does the woman say about the shirts?
so, well, she never said I can't. She said, okay, it's gonna take me more time. So she said, let me just go back a little. Oh my goodness, stupid freaking button. There.
Saturday afternoon would be the earliest that you could have them.
What does the woman say about the shirts?
Right? So, they, exactly. Then, classic, no? These answers tell us
Number
that
9.
they are talking about the place, right? A specific place. So,
Music and the flowers are lovely.
Yes. I hope that the food is good.
What kind of plays are the speakers probably talking about?
Croissant.
there you go. The woman was talking about the background, but the key word was food. Yes, background,
Number 10.
flowers, music.
Hello, Anne. This is Larry at the office. Is Fred at home?
No, Larry, he's in class now. He'll be home for lunch, though.
What do we know about Fred?
What do you get?
Leadership.
Yeah, exactly. The guy is in class. Lunch is something that he's gonna do
Number 11.
after.
When does the next bus leave for New York?
Buses leave for New York every half hour. You just missed the 9:30 bus by 5 minutes.
What will the man probably do?
So what do you get? Was it tough?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, sure.
You just missed the 9:30 bus
Damn.
by 5 minutes.
For New York.
No,
Buses
wait,
leave
I'm sorry.
for New York every
For New York.
Number 11.
When does the next bus leave for New York?
Buses leave for New York every half hour. You just missed the 9:30 bus by 5 minutes.
What will the man probably do?
Letter A.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, considering that bosses,
ABT model test
considering
scripts.
that the bosses leave every 30 minutes. So yeah, perfect. Then
Number 5.
oh damn it.
If you don't have any
I was
account, you
afraid to do
check.
that.
Lovely.
Yes. I hope that the food is good.
What kind of...
Oh damn it.
Number 11.
No.
When does the next
Just
bus
skip
leave for
that
New York?
one.
Buses leave for New York every half hour. You just missed the
Probably do.
Okay. So
Number 12.
Did we have an assignment for Monday? I don't have anything written down.
Nothing to read in the textbook, but we have to see a movie and write a paragraph about it.
What are the speakers discussing?
So, watching a movie, writing down like a summary or a paragraph about it. It seems to be like an assignment, no? Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has to be that one. Then, like sequencing, that will be the thing over here.
Number 13.
Make 30 copies for me and 20 copies for Mr. Brown.
As soon as I make the final corrections on the original.
What is the woman probably going to do?
So,
B.
it's, listen to the sequencing. The woman used the as soon as can. Sorry, as soon as can. As soon as I. So the as soon as I means first I need to do this, and then after doing this, I do the other thing. So it's just that noticing these adverb connectors that tell us that one thing is gonna happen before or after another thing. So let me just go back just a little bit over here.
What is the woman probably going to do?
Yeah, exactly. It's just first I need to definitely she needs to correct the files to get the
As soon
copies.
as I make the final corrections on the original.
You see?
What is the woman probably going to do?
One thing after what happened after another one, right? So yeah. Option A. Then
Number 14.
Excuse me, are you Sally Harrison's sister?
No, I'm not. I'm her cousin.
What had the man assumed about the woman?
so what had the man assumed? Yes, that she was this person's sister. Uh-huh.
Number 15.
I can't find my pen. It was right here on the desk yesterday and now it's gone. Have you seen it?
Yes, I put it in the desk drawer.
What is the woman's problem?
C.
There you go. It's just she just missed, or she's like looking for her pen, right? She doesn't have it.
Number 16.
When is John coming?
Well, he said he'd be here at 8:30, but if I know him, it will be at least 9 o'clock.
What does the man imply about John?
So yeah, he's usually late. This person doesn't seem to be punctual, just like me. Well, I
Number
got an
17.
excuse though anyway.
I suppose we should look for a bigger house, but I don't see how we can afford one right now.
If only we hadn't spent so much money on our vacation this year.
What does the woman mean?
So the woman used the expression if only, add some emphasis. She said, if only we hadn't spent too much money on our vacation this year. So she regrets, right? She regrets the cost of the vacation. So it's just that's the context. Usually when we listen to the expression if only, wish, or the second conditional or the third conditional, it's just we also, I mean, the context is definitely necessary, but yeah, she regrets, no?
Number 18.
Did you see Jack's presentation?
Yes, what happened? He didn't seem to know up from down.
What does the woman imply about Jack?
Idiom. The woman said, He didn't seem to know up, forth, down. Up, forth, down. So what does this mean? Yes, no? The person didn't seem to be prepared for the presentation, so he did an awful performance. He got confused.
Number 19.
Shall I send out the invitations?
Let's hold off on that until I can talk to Janet.
What does the man mean?
Phrasal verb, let's hold on of that. So, yeah, sure. No, it's fine, it's fine.
Shall I send out the invitations?
Let's hold off on that until I can talk to Janet.
What does the man mean?
So, well, let's just what? Hold on that. So it's just like let's just wait, no? Let's just pause this for a moment. The person needs to get this woman's approval, Janet's opinion, right? So must be the option B. Then
Number 20.
How's the baby? Is she walking yet?
Oh, yes. I can't keep up with her.
What does the woman mean?
phrasal verb, keep up with. What does this mean? The baby's asleep. Chan, 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 chan. Well, also listen to the woman's voice, okay? Once again.
What does the woman mean?
Ah, damn it! Why, stupid?
What?
Is she walking yet?
Oh, yes. I can't keep up with her.
What does the woman mean?
So you see the baby is very active, and that's why the woman is like, oh, I can't keep up with her. So she's like in a rush or something, no? So because the baby is
Number 21.
quite active.
How is your experiment coming along?
It's finished, but it didn't turn out quite like I thought it would.
What does the man mean?
So
B.
yeah, exactly. He just got something that he wasn't expecting to happen, no? Unexpected results.
Number 22.
Barbara sure likes to talk on the phone.
If only she liked her classes as well.
What does the man imply about Barbara?
If only she liked her classes as well. So the man used the expression if only, past tense to refer to the present tense. So what does this mean?
A.
Yeah, exactly. No, she doesn't care about her studies, so she just doesn't pay too much attention on them. So yeah.
Number 23.
My allergies are really bothering me. I guess I'll have to go to the doctor.
If I were you, I'd try some over-the-counter medications first. They usually do the job.
What does the man suggest the woman do?
Again, the man used the second conditional to give a suggestion. So what does the man suggest the woman to do?
A.
See the doctor, but yeah, actually he said to get over-the-counter medication. So it's the idea of going to the grocery, going to the pharmacy or a drugstore and get some medicine. Is that one. Option D. Then
Number 24.
What did you decide about the scholarship? Did you fill out the application?
I'm going to give it all I've got.
What does the woman mean?
she's gonna give all she's got. So
See?
Number 25.
yeah, exactly.
Hello, Anne.
Doing her
This is
best.
Robert.
Oh, hi, Robert. I was just about to call you.
What does the woman mean?
So she was just about to call him. So she was ready to call Robert, right? Must be the option D.
Number 26.
Could I have a few more minutes to finish?
I'm afraid not. It's a timed test.
What does the woman mean?
A.
Yeah, exactly. So a time test, time is over, give me your test. No more. You are not allowed to spend more time
Number
doing the
27.
test.
The best part is I can use my roommate's book.
I'm not so sure about that. I think they're using a different book this semester.
What does the man imply?
Letter C.
Yeah, exactly. And you see, this one is different. This one is a model to give a let's just say, because the person is guessing, the person is just deducing something that may have happened in the future, no? So he doesn't know, he's not completely sure. That's why you listen to the verb think. So every time you listen to these three verbs, I think, I guess, I believe, the person is not completely sure. So he said, I believe, I think they changed the textbook this semester. So usually, when we are like 50% sure about something, we have three options, either using the modal may, the modal could, or the modal might. So yes, exactly, option C. And then
Number 28.
I'm going to get Sally a bike for Christmas.
Are you sure she'd like one?
What does the woman imply?
Letter D.
yeah, exactly, no? Again, the woman is not completely sure about that, but she just believes that she may not like that gift. So she may prefer something different. So yeah, it's just the same. Using a modal for guessing, for deducing something. Exactly.
Number 29.
Carol needs a ride downtown, and I said you'd take her.
Oh, no. Please say you didn't.
What can be inferred about the man?
Yes, he definitely doesn't want to give this person a ride. And finally,
Number 30.
I just can't get the answer to this problem. I've been working on it for 3 hours.
Maybe you should get some rest and try it again later.
What does the woman suggest that the man do?
yeah, well, that was exactly perfect. So yeah, taking a break, just clear up your mind, then just go back and continue working, right? So you see, there were at least 5 of these 30 exercises involving the use of this expression. Well, I mean, the expression if only, using condition, well, the second conditional mostly, to give suggestions, and also the verb wish. Well, that one, the verb wish actually was this one, I guess. Yes, the number 2 was more into rejecting a person's invitation. Yeah. So just consider that the second conditional, you're going to listen it mostly in the person giving a suggestion to someone. Uh, Pay extra attention to the verb wish. In other situations, it involves something, obviously, a regretful situation. The person seems to know to be a little bit sad. You know, sadness, the tone of the voice has to be a little bit negative. The same with if only. The emphasis is going to be more in the expression if only, and then the intonation is going to change a little bit after using this expression. No? So what does it? Those are the things that eventually you listen to. So just for you to take them into consideration. Then let's just move on with more beautiful stuff. And the last time I was just mentioning this just before you guys before I just let you go. It was about the infinitives. You know, checking the positions, all the forms. I would say more like this. Yes, the forms that the infinitive has. As I said before, the infinitive placed at the beginning of the sentence is going to be a noun. The preposition, an infinitive. Okay, let's just say the information that the preposition to connects. So if we see something, and the preposition to connecting something at the beginning of the sentence is going to be a noun. If the preposition to is connecting a noun, this to is actually going to be a preposition. But if we see a verb, then yes, the preposition to plus a verb, we know that is called an infinitive. So in English, the only preposition that can connect a verb is the preposition to. With the rest of the prepositions, just consider that we connect nouns. Okay, so there is one that actually I'm going to, remark this because people tend to use the preposition for as if it were the infinitive. Okay, for some reason I don't know why people do that, but this has been the constant analysis because I have seen these mistakes all the freaking time. Okay, so this is so weird. First of all, it's weird to use two prepositions together. Yes. Then we know that if we have a verb, just remember the only preposition that can connect a verb is the preposition to. And this is called an infinitive. So doing this is weird. Even to say forsake is weird because for continues being a preposition and for cannot connect the verb take. Okay, so this is when we'll see that every time we use for, then yes, we can say for taking, for swimming, for traveling, for working, and so on. Now, which are the contexts? Okay, let's see. This is the thing that we're going to be doing now. When do we use the preposition for plus an ing? Okay, so we do that when we are talking about what? The purpose of things to exist. So what's the purpose of using a camera? What's the purpose of using headphones? What's the purpose of using a knife? All right, well, I know this is going to sound a very, very, very stupid, right? But it's just the way it is. Okay? When we are talking about the function of objects, we use the preposition for. All right? Then, yes, this answers the question, what's the purpose of using a camera, headphones, or a knife, no? Then, is it possible that we can also use the infinitive? Okay, once again, yes. Every time we are talking about the reason for using something, make sure to use the preposition for plus an ing. Okay, but the question is, can we also use infinitive? And the answer is yes. Take a look. I use the box to store DVDs, or I use this box for storing DVDs. Both sentences mean the same, even though we have a different structure. Okay? So as you can see, the infinitive is more flexible than the preposition for. Because the infinitive, we are talking about what? We can talk about this. Let me show you. You see, in these examples, we are talking about humans. And every time we are talking about a person's intention for doing something, we use the infinitive. What is the intention? What is the reason for this person to go to London? To study English. What is the reason, the purpose of this person to go home? To relax. So from the moment that we are talking about humans, a person's intention in doing something, then we know we have to use infinitive. We cannot use the preposition for, because remember, the preposition for is more into ¿por qué sirven las cosas? Why do I use a screwdriver? Okay, a screwdriver is used for, adjusting things. That's why I use a screwdriver. Pens. Why do I use a pen? For writing. Or I can also say I use a pen to write. You see, because I can do that. The infinitive can be used to express why things work, and we can also use infinitive to express a person's intention. You see, so just consider that the preposition to can, the infinitive can do both, but the preposition for is limited to refer to how things work. Okay, any questions with this? No? Any questions so far?
No, teacher.
No? All right. Now, so, are there exceptions? Yes, you may see this, that besides connecting a verb in ing, we can also connect for plus a noun. So what's gonna be the context if I do this, connecting for plus a noun? Okay, it's gonna be only in the context of buying or getting things. So let me show you. I went to the shop for milk. Or you can also say, I went to the shop to buy milk. Okay? So we have the same expressions in Spanish, no? One thing is por leche, and another thing is para comprar leche. So both are correct. We use both in Spanish. So different writing, same, kind of the same meaning. Yes? Just remember, we cannot do this. I'm sorry. Please, when you open the file, make sure to please, put a mark on these two. Pongan una marca ahí. Ambas están mal. Okay, the last two are incorrect. I'm sorry, I haven't modified this. I completely forgot. Okay, so for buying is weird, and also for buy milk is weird. Like I said, this is the classic mistake. People get confused, and then they use the preposition for as if it were an infinitive, but for is not an infinitive. It's completely different from the preposition to. Okay, so these two are incorrect. All right. So just to to consider other expressions that can also be used to express a reason. We know that we can also use the expression in order to, or the expression so as to. The question is, yes, we usually use the because, no? The connector because to express a reason. So why do you study a master's degree? I study a master's degree because I want to continue learning, because I want to get a scholarship, because this, because that. We can also use infinitive. Why do you study a master's degree? To get a scholarship, to continue learning, to to get more knowledge, to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that. So using these two expressions, you see, there is a change in formality. It is more formal to use the expression in order to or so as to. I mean, all of them are correct, but it's more into formality, but in the end, it's the same thing. All right. So then, as you know, we already checked this, the list of actions, the list of verbs that are complemented with the infinitive. So that's the case of the verb design, promise, asked, and want. And then there are others that we didn't see, but just to remark this, no, the use of the ing with the preposition for. This can happen, sorry, after the adjective sorry. So I'm sorry for what? Okay, I'm sorry for being late. I'm sorry for breaking your vase. I'm sorry for doing this. I'm sorry for doing that. Another verb that is very common to see with the preposition for is apologize. So I want to apologize for being late in class. I want to apologize for forgetting about the meeting. Another situation where you might also see the preposition for is in the expression thanking someone. So thank you so much, and you are like, for what? Okay, thank you so much for being present on my birthday, you know. So this one is also classic, and also with the verb reward. So the police, in this case, the police reward this person for what? For finding the stolen car. So you see, these expressions are highly common, are very common, in daily speaking. So just for you to consider following this, connecting the ideas with the preposition for. You already have this information, so in case you were like wondering, just look for the file. The title that says the many forms of the infinitive, and then you see the two new files attached. Then this is going to be the first activity, guys. Please. Right now is 28 past 9. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, okay? Let's just say till 9:33. Okay, so let me just set the time. Let me just go back over here. Then, okay, gotcha. It's going to take more time than I was expecting. Damn you, faster. Okay, so over here, checking infinitives. Now it says new files attached. Then it has to be this one. No, actually, you don't have the information. I'm just going to add that information just in case you find it interesting or useful. So, okay, now you have it. So let's just say till 9:30. No, 9:35. Why not? The hell not. So. There you go. So please use this one. Just remember, when we are focusing on how things work, we use for. And with verbs, we cannot use for unless we use the ing. But when we are referring to humans, to a person's reason for doing something, then in that case we need to use the infinitive. For is more into things in general, into how things work. The only exception, remember, is when getting something. Comprar, adquirir algo, then in that case, yes, sería preposición for más un sujeto. Okay, so please just do this and you get 5 minutes. So. 3 more minutes. Two more minutes. One minute left. Done. Time up. So, number one, we're talking about the reason, the purpose of using matches. So we can say matches are for lighting fires. Okay. Then he went to the park. This is a purpose a person, a human being is doing, right? So he went to the park to relax. For relaxing, we cannot say that. Remember, when we are talking about humans and a person's reason of doing something, then we cannot use the preposition for it. Then this knife is for cutting. Unless we say this knife is used to cut, maybe yes, but it's more common to say this knife is for cutting grapefruit. We stopped at a shop. For what? For bread. Unless we say to buy bread, that's different. Yes, if you say to buy bread, yes. But to bread is weird, no? No, at the shop for bread. What about number 5? What do you get?
For playing music.
There you go. I made a cake. Again, what is the reason for you to do it?
Practice.
There you go.
Practice making.
Right? To practice. This one is definitely an infinitive, no? I want to go. But in number 8, we have a noun. So in this case, she went to the restaurant for lunch. Number 9, he thanked everyone. For what? For coming. Yes. She went home for what? I mean, to do what? She went home to study. Mhm. They apologize. Remember, apologize is used with the preposition for. They apologize for being late. What is the reason for, I mean, for nails to exist? Nails are for building things. She can hear, this is the reason for this woman or this person to do it. She can hear to read, infinitive. We rewire the children for what? For studying hard. The children came to the kitchen. The children came to the kitchen for biscuits. We have a noun, so we have to use the preposition for. He promised to help. Lucy went to the cafe. I'm sorry about this, stupid computer. For coffee. Or if you want to change this, you can also say to buy coffee. They went to Paris to learn French. Infinitive. The pen is for writing. We are talking about the reason for using a pen. And finally, I went to the library. Okay, the book about, okay, so, well, we don't have what to write down over here, but I went to the library for getting the book about Mexican history. For buying, no. For getting, we can say that, or to get, or to buy the book. I would say it's more like, I went to the library to buy the book about Mexican history. Yes. Right? So, well, that was the thing. So once again, when we are focusing on things, on how things work, then we use the preposition for. When we are connecting a noun, we use the preposition for. But when we are talking about the reason of buying things, the reason of a person to do something, then we can use the infinitive. Okay? So let's just move on with more beautiful stuff. Then let's just focus on, please just look for the title that says question tags or tag questions. Yes. So, okay, this is something that you might consider for the next oral test, which is going to be the 4th oral test. Okay, once again, the question tags, this is something that you have seen in previous levels, particularly on level 6 and 7. I guess that's when you see them. Then, as you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but the idea is doing the opposite. As you know, in Spanish, we have, I mean, the Spanish version is like the no es así. Okay, and in English, it's a little bit more complex because we need to remember the tenses, and there are some things that we might consider when applying exceptions and different concepts that we need to check, no? When doing these mini short questions. So, as you know, the tag questions are these short questions that we use at the end of our speech. It's like an indirect way of speaking, because if I use the no es así, right, I'm expecting the person I'm talking to provide more information because I'm not sure. So if I say, van a tener un examen la próxima semana, ¿no es así? I'm expecting you to corroborate what I'm saying because I'm not completely sure. Yes? So, well, usually the tag questions are used in the context the person is not completely sure. He's having some doubts, and that's why he is using this short question at the end, expecting the other person to clarify, to provide that information, no? So something that you must do is this, always checking if the sentence is affirmative or negative. Then you have to do basically the opposite. Okay? Then, second suggestion is always identify if whether you are using proper names or not. As you know, proper names have to be I'm sorry, I wouldn't say omitted, replaced. That would be the best word. Okay, proper names have to be replaced by using the subject pronouns. As you know, the subject pronouns I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. So we just have to replace the proper names. Just what I said, the first sentence is negative, it's in future, so we continue using the modal, the modal, the verb will. So it has to be affirmative now, so it's going to be will he. And the second sentence is in past, is negative, so we have to substitute Carla by using she. So the affirmative, that question is going to be, did she? Yes. So another suggestion is always using contractions. Always. So whether you are using modals, whether you are using an auxiliary verb, just make sure to always use contractions. Okay, so there is no, as you can see, there is no formality, because we know that using contractions is just in informal contexts, in informal settings. And yes, it's informal, but either way, that's the rule, no? So she could pass the test, couldn't he? I'm sorry, couldn't she? Whoops, I just got confused with the pronoun. Anyway, so another thing that we just need to do is this, checking the tense. According to the tense, we continue using the same auxiliary verb, or the same verbs, or the same modal verbs. Okay, so we need to check that too. And then probably the tenses that are going to be or are going to cause people may get confused are these two, either the present or the past. So as you know, in the present, it's just the same rule that we all know, whether using do or using the verb to be. So we all know the rule that says that in case we see the verb to be, we can't use the auxiliary do. So she is your best friend, affirmative. So we continue using the verb to be in negative form. So isn't she? Then the next one, we know that we don't see the verb to be. For any other actions, as we know, the rule that says that for questions and in general, negative ideas, we need to use auxiliary do or does. The subject is he, so using the same rules, right? So it has to be negative, so doesn't he? Then the same analysis for the past tense, whether using was, were, or using the auxiliary did. So she was your best friend, affirmative, so wasn't she? Or wasn't he? Whatever. He always woke up at 7, didn't he? So it's just the same, no? I'm just presenting these two because maybe these two might get people confused. Anyway, then another exception is this. This is the one that causes more chaos. Yes, so in present tense, we consider these impersonal expressions, someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, everybody, everyone, nobody, no one. We consider these expressions as singular. So in present, we say somebody is, somebody eats, somebody works, somebody studies. So in present is singular, third person. In past, somebody was. That's it. Because we know that in past, we just conjugate the other verbs in past. So this doesn't seem to be quite evident, because we say somebody went, somebody traveled, somebody worked, right? So now the distinction, we can see it with the verb to be. Somebody was. Now we can also see this distinction in the present perfect. Somebody has arrived, somebody has done, somebody has worked. Again, we can see the distinction in the present perfect continuous. Somebody has been working, somebody has been doing, somebody has been sleeping. Yes. So you see, the moral of this is, please do not, do not extend this rule. This rule, the one that I'm going to be talking about right now, only happens in this stupid context of tag questions. Okay. Once again, only in tag questions, these expressions are going to be considered as they. So since we are considering these expressions as they, obviously this forces us to use plurality. Okay, so that's the exception that you need to pay extra attention to. So, like I said, you see, in the sentence is going to be in past. So, sorry, the sentence. I mean the sentence, not the tag question. For this sentence we are going to be respecting that, no? That these expressions are considered singular. But after we use the tag question, then everything changes. Now the tag question is going to be plural. You see? So that's why this causes people get in trouble, no? Somebody was, weren't they? Affirmative, negative, plural. Then everybody delivered, past tense. So didn't they? Yes. So yeah, pay extra attention with this exception. Then checking tenses, paying extra attention with these impersonal expressions. What's next? Okay, another one is this. Only this exception only happens in using after using the verb to be in affirmative form, in first person. So affirmative is this. I'm your best friend. And then only in this situation, in affirmative form, we consider the verb to be first person as plural. So aren't I? Okay. Then the second, the next, as you can see in the negative form, this doesn't happen. It's just am I, and that's it. Just remember, this only happens in the affirmative form. Right? Then, what else? Oh yeah, like I said, in the negative form, it doesn't seem to be like a big thing, right? It's just am I, and that's it. Then, what to do every time we use, or every time we see the expressions to denote existence? There is or there are. Well, we continue using the same expression there. So there is a problem. Affirmative. So isn't there? Or in negative form. There isn't any milk left. Is there? Just like that. Then more exceptions. Let's see. Modals. So the rule is very clear. The rule is telling us, the rule forces us to use contractions. So since there are two modals that we cannot contract, let's see. Can. Modal used to denote ability in the present tense. Is there a contraction with can? We all know the contraction is can't. All right, perfect. We can use can't. Then, modal could. The modal that we use to denote ability in the past. Is there a contraction? Yes, couldn't. We all know that. Then, this is a problem. In the modal that we use to denote possibility in the present and possibility in the future, there is not, we know that it doesn't exist a contraction for these two. So immediately we know that we cannot use these two modals. So we have to skip them. Then we know that for will we use won't, for would we use wouldn't, for must we use mustn't, although I'm sorry, I forgot to write down an apostrophe over there between the N and the T. And then we know that for the modal should, we use shouldn't. So just consider not using these two, no, may and might. Then just the same, checking if the sentence is affirmative or negative, then doing the opposite. You study affirmative, won't you? They must, mustn't they? Okay, as simple as that. Then, in case you see the expression "let's go," first of all, let's just settle down. What is this contraction standing for? And the contraction of "let's" stands for the expression "let us," which is plural. Let us. So it's always nosotros involved in this expression. So every time we use nosotros, is you and the speaker, I mean, both are involved in that expression. The speaker or whoever the person is talking is implicit in that expression. So that's why we have to always use yeah, the pronoun we. The pronoun we has to be always used. Then you know, we have to also consider the fact of using the modal shall. And the modal shall is formal, is very formal. It's not that common in American English. It's more into British English. But for some reason, this is part of the, I mean, shall is part of the rule, you know, in this tag question thing. So just for you to consider, always using shall. And since there isn't a negative form for the modal shall, I mean, we cannot say shalln't. So this is going to always be shall we, shall we, shall we. Did I say shall we? Well, okay, shall we? And that's it. Okay. So what else? More exceptions. Checking, paying extra attention with these expressions you see now. Nobody, no one, never, nothing, no, and finally, hardly. Okay, so these expressions, every time you see them, they are affecting the sentence, and then they make the sentence negative. Okay, but pay extra attention with these two. These ones are gonna be really disgusting, because with these two, we have to do a double analysis. If the sentence has the expression nobody, the sentence is going to be negative. And also, I have to consider this as they. The same happens with no one. The sentence is going to be negative, and again, the tag question has to be in plural form. These two are considered as they. All right? So, just for you to consider this. Examples over here. Let's see. She hardly studied. The sentence now is negative. So it has to be did she? And just what I said, oops, this is an awful mistake. Please, if you haven't checked the file, please just make sure to write down to modify this and write down an S, has. So nobody has presented. So this one has to be singular. But the tag question has to be plural. Have they? Yes. Then suggestions, just before you can move, we just move on with the activity that I'm going to send you, is this. Always do this. First, checking the sentence. Checking the tense. Whether the sentence is in present, past, present continuous, past continuous, and so on. Once that you check the tense, the second thing you need to do is to check if the sentence is negative or affirmative, because you're going to be doing the opposite, right? Then you have to look out for exceptions. Those negative expressions, the expression let's go, I mean let's, no? the verb to be in first person affirmative. Yes. So in case you have some doubts for this activity, just consider checking the file that I attached before. Then always use contractions. Make sure to always use contractions. And finally, every time you see proper names, make sure to substitute those proper names by using either, obviously masculine, feminine, or plurality in bold. Yes. So, all right. Is it clear? Are there any questions? Anybody, anyone? Somebody, someone? No? Not yet? Now, chan, 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 chan. Take a look at this. 40, okay? 40 beautiful exercises. So, I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Okay, now right now it's 58 past 9. Just consider 10 minutes. Try to identify the tenses where the sentence affirmative, negative, substituting the pronouns. Okay, look, pay extra attention with these expressions that they must be considered as plural. So just consider 10 minutes and then we just check this really, really fast. Okay, so please, let's just say till, 10 past 10. 5 more minutes. Two more minutes. One minute left. Done. Time up. Okay, so like I said, it's just recognition of this, because I just did it like that because I know that most of you already know this. Actually, some of you just covered this with me on in English 6, and this is definitely that if you guys just took that level, definitely you just saw this. So the first sentence is obvious that it's affirmative. Pay attention to this. This past participle form done is telling us that this is the contraction of has. So this sentence is in present perfect. It's affirmative. So doing the opposite, we're going to have hasn't she. Then this and this, obviously the sentence is in present, is affirmative, so has to be don't we. Then present perfect, affirmative, has to be haven't I. Two proper noun, yes, two proper names. Obviously we have to substitute this by using they. The sentence is negative, is in present, so it has to be do they. The sentence is definitely in past, literally. And the person, well, omitting this, substituting this by using he, right? So it has to be didn't he. Then simple future, negative, we continue using the same subject, so will it. Then negative form, modal verb can, so can we. Present perfect, affirmative, substitution for using she, so hasn't she. This sentence is only in past, so it has to be hadn't I. Then remember, the exception only happens in the affirmative form. In the negative form, nothing happens, so it's going to be am I only. Pay attention to this. The tag question has to be in plural using they. This is telling us that this is the contraction of has. So the sentence is affirmative, is in present perfect, so it has to be haven't they. The next one is present tense. Is negative because we have the expression nobody. And we also need to consider this as they. So it has to be do they. Then usually when we have that, we can use the pronoun it, or if you want, you can continue using that. This is negative because we have the expression no, so it has to be is it or is that, as you wish. Number 14 is also in present. I mean, it's negative because we have this expression, so it has to be do we. Then number 15 again is negative, is in past, sorry, present tense. So do I. Then this expression is basically limited to always say shall we, shall we, shall we. Then number 17 is obviously in past. We need to consider this as negative and also as plural using they. So it has to be did they. Then again past tense, affirmative. We have to also consider this as plural using they. So it has to be didn't they. Number 19, present tense. The sentence is negative because we have this expression. Sean is masculine, so it has to be substituted by using he. So it has to be does he. Once again, we have let's go. So shall we. 21 is negative. This is the contraction of is in present, so it has to be is it. The next one, negative. This is definitely the contraction of is. So this is the expression to denote existence. We continue using this one. So it has to be is there. 23, the sentence is in past. We have to consider this as they. 23 is affirmative, must be negative, so it has to be didn't they. Once again, we have that. So either you use that or use it, as you wish. The sentence is affirmative, is in present, so it has to be is it, sorry, isn't it, isn't that. The sentence is in past. is negative, and again you must be using they. So it has to be the day. Okay. Then any questions so far? From 1 till 25. Anybody? No.
No, teacher.
Then you guys, please, now is your turn. Please help me out from 26 till 40. So what about 26? How will you do the tag question in 26?
Shall we?
There you go. 27. Pay attention to this. So,
Did he?
yeah, perfect. Now, what about 28? The problem when we have these stupid verbs that they do not change. Present tense set, past tense set, past participle form set. So checking the context, obviously 28 is in past, right? So what will you say?
Didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Didn't they? Perfect. 29. What do you get in 29?
Do they?
Yeah, exactly. Do they? Perfect. But, chan, 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 chan. This sentence is affirmative. So must be negative. So it has to be don't they. Just be careful with that. 30. 10 more, 10 more. What about number 30?
Is it?
Yeah, exactly. Is it? 31. We have the expression to denote
Is
existence.
there?
Yeah, exactly. Is there? Then 32, we have a modal. It's affirmative. We have the expression somebody. So,
Must they?
yeah, but it's affirmative. Has to be negative. So, mustn't.
Mustn't they?
Exactly. 33, which is very sad, a very, very sad sentence.
Is there?
Exactly, is there. Then 34, we know that it's going to be always shall we, and that's it, no? 35. Present perfect, affirmative, expression everyone.
Haven't they?
Exactly, haven't they? Then the next one, which is really awkward and awful, past continuous, negative, nobody.
Didn't they?
But be careful because you have this. So it's were they? You continue using the same verb to be. All right. 37, affirmative, modal could. Couldn't she, right? Couldn't she? Then just the same, 38, shouldn't you? Then this is definitely telling us that this is present perfect. This is a contraction of has. 39 is affirmative. So has to be hasn't he, right? Finally, the sentence is obviously in present perfect. It is also negative. and it has to be have I. Yes, that's it. All right. So actually, well, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time for this, but well, I guess so. I guess so. So there is a reason for doing this. I mean, this person or whoever wrote this sentence could just have said, sorry, I have never seen. But you see, there is a reason, there is a purpose, there is an intention for doing this. We do the same in Spanish. Yo nunca he visto una película tan asquerosa, ¿no? But if I want to emphasize something negative, what do? I move the negative expression in front. And then we invert the subject verb order, as you can see over here. So, nunca había visto algo tan asqueroso, ¿no? So, never have I seen. So, is there a reason for this? Like I said, it's just it's just for emphasis. That's it. Okay, so this is called the inversion. And again, we have to cover those, so there is no other way out. Okay, so just consider this as something that definitely you get to know for the last oral test. Okay, so well, inversion, yes, so sweet, I know. Now, okay, so that was the thing about the tag questions. So like I said, usually when we listen to tag questions, it's in the context of I'm not sure about what I'm saying. So I'm asking you by using these short questions so that you can please provide more information to clarify what I'm saying. This is the context when you listen to on the listening section. Just remember, pay extra attention with these three verbs, the verbs that tell you that the person is not sure. So it's the verb think, the verb guess, and the verb believe. Eventually we'll see that. But the exceptions, there are always exceptions, and let me show you that. So please open the file, just take a look at the title that says tag questions, go over there, and then look for the title that says, yes, the beautiful dialogues involving agreement and disagreement. I already uploaded these two files, and then we're going to be checking all the expressions that you listen to, and immediately you get to know that the person agrees with what the other speaker said. So these are the classics. Probably, yes, this is something that definitely you have practiced in other levels. So it's always the so do I, me too, or we know that we can also use this negative expression just to make sure to point out a negative statement. Also, neither do I, or I don't either. Then you may also listen to this, who wouldn't? And then, as you can see, voila, you have this, like tag questions over here. But you always see the though at the end. So isn't it though? Hasn't she though? Or wasn't she though? Or he or it. Yes. So as you can see, you may listen to this in all tenses. Could be in present. The most common are in present, present perfect, or the past tense, wasn't. Yes. So if you listen to this, then the person agrees. Now, why? I mean, why is that we have a different meaning? Well, don't ask me. The stupid English rules anyway. By saying, for example, let's just consider that this expression, isn't it though, basically means you are right. That's it. But by using this expression, isn't it though, gives you more, it just gives more emphasis that is remarking the fact that the person is just in agreement. You can also substitute this expression by saying in fact. Okay, eventually I'm going to show you a couple of examples so that you can see this expression in context. Okay, then another expression of agreement is going to be I second that, or no, I certainly haven't. Yes. Then you see I'll say, you can say that again. Classic, this one is very, very common. Or is it ever, has it ever, or was it ever? You bet. The classic, I couldn't agree with you more. I feel the same way you do about it. No kidding. And finally, I think you're probably right about that. These are the most common expressions that you listen to. I just kind of summarized. I was listening, carefully to plenty of TOEFL tests, and I just came up with these expressions. So pay extra attention with this one. That's why we check the tag questions, because they have, this definitely has some relation with those. Then let's just focus on the expressions to denote disagreement. So these are, some of them are very evident. So no, I don't think so. That's not the way I think. That's not the way I see it. Not really. I can't say I agree. I couldn't agree with you less. You see, that's the difference. When the person agrees, you listen to the more. I couldn't agree with you more. When the person disagrees, then you listen to the less. I couldn't agree with you less. So pay extra attention with this expression. Only one word makes the difference. The more shows you that the person agrees, the less is telling you that the person disagrees. Then don't be so sure about that. I'm afraid I do not agree. Probably not. Not necessarily. I'm afraid not. I'm not so sure, or I'm not that sure. I wish. Usually when we listen to the verb wish, we know the person disagrees. Usually wish is used in a negative context. So I wish I could say the same. And finally, with the modal ideas used with the modal wouldn't. Okay? So let me, like I said, I was going to give you an example using this expression, isn't it though? So it is typically used to respond to a statement that you agree with. And what is the reason for using isn't it though? For doing this, to add emphasis. So let me show you the example now. So let's just pretend that today is a very hot day. And then one person might say, it's really hot today. So the person says, isn't it though? In fact, you are right. I think the same. So do I. Me too. Yes? You see, it's just like that. Example, Howard certainly is a talented journalist. And the person says, isn't he though? So what does the woman mean? You just have to look for the option where the woman agrees. So she agrees that Howard is a very talented journalist. Okay? So agreement. Then I thought Cheryl's photographs were the best at the exhibit. So on the opposite, you may listen to this. I didn't really see it that way. So the person clearly disagrees with this woman's statement. So he thought other photos were better than Cheryl. So this one is the one that gives us that, the disagreement. Yes? So are there any questions, you guys? No? Anybody, anyone? Someone?
No, teacher.
No? Now, okay, let's start doing this. So please just move on with to the next file that says, you see it over here, is dialogues involving agreement and disagreement. It says the students. Yes? So please open this file. I'm going to show you, I'm going back to the previous file. to show you the expressions. And then while you guys, you just have to mark where the person agrees or disagrees. It's just that. Okay? So please, stupid voice, please open this file. Then I'm just going back, like I said, and then I'm going to just show you the expressions. Then please you tell me if the person agrees or disagrees. Ready? Yes? Are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's do this. There you go.
6.1. Number 1.
I don't care if it is raining. I'd rather go fishing than stay home.
I couldn't agree with you more.
So, agree or
Agree.
disagree? Yeah, there
Agree.
you go. Exactly. Perfect.
Number 2.
It sure is windy.
Is it ever?
So, is it ever? So the person agrees.
Number 3.
I didn't think Professor Hall's lecture was very informative.
I can't really agree with you on that.
So, yeah, there you go. I can't really agree with you on that. So, yes.
Number 4.
Anthony is quite a singer.
You bet he is.
So,
Agree.
exactly. You bet, right? So, yeah. Agreement.
Number 5.
I think the service at that new cafe is pretty good.
I wish I could say the same.
So,
Disagree.
yeah, definitely no. I wish I could say the same. So, yeah.
Number 6.
Mayor Curtis certainly won't run for re-election now.
Don't be so sure about that.
So,
Disagree.
exactly.
Number 7. It's been a long, hard day.
Hasn't it, though?
So,
Agree.
yeah, there you go. Hasn't it though? Yes, there you go.
Number 8.
I think skydiving must be exciting.
You wouldn't catch me jumping out of an airplane.
So, you wouldn't catch me jumping out of an airplane. So he said, the man said, you know what? If you want to do it, go ahead. But me, I'm not that crazy. So I'm definitely not going to do that. No. So disagrees.
Number 9.
Good thing there was a fire extinguisher in the hallway.
I'll second that.
So,
Agree.
yes, exactly.
Number 10.
There are some strange paintings in that gallery. Strange? I wouldn't call them strange.
Disagree.
Yes, disagreement. Although we don't have the expression here, the context is telling us. It's like, why? For me, the paintings are kind of gorgeous. We can clearly see that the woman has a different opinion. So yeah, disagreement.
Number 11.
I really like that sports car Michael bought.
Who wouldn't?
So, yes, who wouldn't, right? And finally,
Number 12.
We haven't heard from Harry for quite a while.
No, we certainly haven't.
so, Yes. No, we certainly haven't. So yeah, exactly. Now with this in mind, let's just move on with the next exercise. Now for this one, it's going to be a little bit tough because we know that we need to pay extra attention in what the second speaker says. But the problem now is that we have to also pay attention to what the first speaker says. Because, I mean, this is like this. The first speaker says something, and then the second speaker agrees or disagrees with what the first speaker said. But the problem is that what the first speaker says give us the context. Give us the context in what the second speaker is agreeing or disagreeing. That's the problem, okay? So every time you listen to these expressions, there is no way out. Now we need to focus on what the two speakers say. Okay, so let's just start with the number one. Let me just look for the track here.